I'm going to let folks in the audience ask some of their questions. We'll open it up, and if you could please come up to the microphone and identify yourself and ask your question.
Well, while you're thinking, I was going to draw attention to this New Yorker cartoon that I love. I think these guys have it right. It says, location, location, location.
First rule in real estate and in policing.
Soon maybe in crime prevention.
Hi, my name is Robin Thiemann. I'm with the Office of Legal Policy here with Justice. And I was interested because you were mentioning the people-based policing programs and how often we will arrest someone who might be in their early 30s who ultimately is going to age out of crime in any event. And so what have we really done when we're arresting and prosecuting folks that might be close to aging out of crime? I'm wondering how that theory intersects with the location theory. So if we do go in and we're looking at taking enforcement action, should we be taking enforcement action in a particular place against a particular group of people who are maybe on the younger end as opposed to on the older end? So how do those two theories intersect?
Well, that's a little scary, I guess.
Right,
I think
exactly.
about it. Let's arrest these younger people and throw them in prison. No, I guess I think that's not how we start. The way we should start is we've got a place, and that place has 100 crime calls in a year. Where is that occurring? What's generating those crime calls? Has this been going on for 20 years? Do we just keep going in and sort of doing something and it continues? What can we do about it? If it's juveniles and it's a mall, can we increase police presence or get more security guards in the mall to do something about it? If it's robberies occurring around certain times of day, can I put something out there? Or can I put a car out there around the time of that these things tend to be happening? So you start off with a sort of different set of questions. Now, sometimes you need to arrest people, and sometimes that's a good strategy. But the problem is that it's a very costly strategy, and sometimes it won't achieve what you want. I think his name was Goldstone, or Goldstein, from New York State, was a prosecutor. If anybody remembers him, a very innovative guy. Did I get that right, his name? Or Goldstone, I think. But anyway, so he had this idea that prosecutors ought to stop just trying to arrest offenders and think more about problem solving. And he gave me the example of the Fulton Fish Market, which he said everybody thinks it's like a mafia thing. He said, you look at it before the mafia, there was corruption and crime at the Fulton Fish Market. He said, it just went on forever. He said, and every time you arrest a group of people, a couple of weeks later, a couple of months later, a new group comes in. So he said, that doesn't work. I've got to change the way this place operates. That's going to be the long-term solution. So even in a way, in a sort of organized crime way, if you think about it, there can be very important elements of opportunity at place or in the systems of place that will provide an opportunity for crime prevention. The idea somehow that we're going to create public safety without arrest, we're not going to have a criminal justice system with people in prison is not realistic. And I'm not sure it's a good thing. Remember that one of the things we try to do in the criminal justice system is express our norms, our values. And sometimes we want to express a value that someone did something really bad, and that person needs to be punished. And in the criminal law, that's the punishment that we view as most serious. So certainly that's part of what we should be doing. But, you know, in the rest of the world, America is looked at quite negatively these days for the very large prison population. It can't be that we need to put all those people in prison. Now, maybe it's necessary. I don't know. I think this approach may focus us a bit. We may get just as much crime prevention, I think more, and we'll have a little bit less. Because if you focus in on who done it, and it becomes getting him and prosecuting, then that's what you're going to get in the long run. This provides an opportunity, I think, for something else.
Interesting. Next.
Hi, I'm Phelan Wyrick with the Office of Justice Programs. My question is, how well equipped are law enforcement and policing agencies to take this approach? Is it really just a change in emphasis, or are there new technologies, new types of analysis required?
Well, on one level, the technology has been developing irrespective of the police. GIS, other analysis systems for location of crime, etc. And many police departments, most largest police departments, have those technologies there. There's lots more that needs to be developed. Let me just give an example of something now at the Police Foundation. They're doing a study of automobile vehicle locator systems, AVL, and or automated vehicle locator systems. And what they're doing is tracking. In Dallas, Texas, it turns out every police car has a GPS. You can know where they are all the time. Well, up to now, it's only been a safety issue. What they're trying to say is, where are the police? It's a study I'm involved in as well. And where is crime? What we found so far is that there's a law of concentration for police patrol, just like there is for crime. About 16% of the patrol areas, they're larger than my hotspots, but not that much larger, account for 50% of police patrol. So there's that law of concentration again. But the funny thing is, or not funny, but the problematic element is that it doesn't always fit with the high crime and the high patrol areas right on top of each other. So it raises some questions about using it. But Dallas is the first place I know of. I think there might be a few other places that have begun to think about using this technology where the police are to do something about crime. There's just one other addition. I don't think it's a technology issue for the most part. I think the technology may even be ahead of us. I think it's more of a perspective, a mentality. It's the idea of moving from whodunit to wheredunit. Data systems need to be developed by the police for this part, but they also need to think about the reallocation of the way they work. Police operate now in large geographic areas. There are police precincts or boroughs, and that's how they allocate their patrol and officers. This work might suggest, well, wait a minute, should I be having special patrol groups for hotspots? Is that what I should be doing? Are there other ways to organize the police? The way we organize the police, this happens every time. If you look at precincts or police reporting areas in Dallas or other places, they were created ages ago quite often, and they have this life to them that may not have much to do with how we can develop crime prevention. So I think it's more of a reorganization of the way the police work and think than it is of the technologies.
Other questions? Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Samir from the Office for Civil Rights, and I would like to know, since people of certain races tend to congregate in certain areas and the focus of the strategy is location, how would you counter the claim that this is just an organized form of racial profiling?
Well, first of all, our data suggests there are also hotspots in areas that are not only of a certain ethnic group, etc., or a socioeconomic group. So that it's not, the hotspots are not only, don't have in your mind that every one of these hotspots is all minority, all poor, etc. That's not what it is. Those factors may be correlated with where these hotspots are. But first of all, you should know that right now you have that anyway, but in a much less effective way. Police chief I speak to, and here's the irony. Think of your question, and now I'll tell you the way a police chief thinks about this. Police chiefs I know, really good police chiefs, they say the following. I say, Chief, where do you want to put the resources of your police department? He says, I don't want to put it in the rich neighborhoods. They don't need me. They have private police. I want to give the resources to the people who really need me, the poor and disadvantaged, often minorities neighborhoods. So what are the police doing? They're focusing in their resources to poor neighborhoods. Because in this case, it's a very forward-thinking police chief who wants to provide service, because he looks at what he does as protecting the public and providing service. Now, the problem with that is what happens. If arrest is your major idea, you throw all those police in a neighborhood with high minorities, and all of a sudden we've got a high minority arrest rate, irrespective of whether minorities are committing crime at that much higher rate in the city. So it's a problem, this geographic issue more generally. But you see, my view is if you change to a place-based focus, it should be less of a problem. You shouldn't be going there and arresting everybody. You should be going there and saying, there are a lot of problems on this block. We'd like to help you. These are the strategies we're thinking of using or involving the community a bit to make it safer. There's a kind of difficult problem in urban areas. On the one hand, everybody wants more police. The police in America are very popular, more popular than police in most other places. Americans love their police, and everybody wants more of them. Or most people, not teenagers, for example, probably don't want more of the police. But people want more. But the police coming to an area, especially with a person-centered crime prevention, means that in the end, it's just going to mean more arrests of the people in that area, inevitably leading to higher arrest rates for those sorts of people. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting a place-focused approach that hopefully won't do that and will lead to greater public safety. And by the way, you have to be thinking about these issues. Police chiefs today have to think about what it means when they put large numbers of police in a particular minority area in terms of the young kids there, who are now going to be arrested for things that in other neighborhoods they won't be arrested for because there aren't enough police around to arrest people for those issues.